Hello, Eagle fans. Welcome to the 2011 MEAC Press Luncheon. I'm Chris Hooks with the NCCU Sports Network. Let's take a look at the highlights of the event. Got to hear from all 11 coaches here in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference.
The community is excited. Obviously, we're excited about the opportunity for a lot of really good historically black football programs to come to Savannah. Can't wait. But first things first for us, we've got to make sure we're ready to compete when they get there. But the community is excited. The stadium beautifies the campus tremendously. Everything looks upward and onward for us right now, but the job has to be done. Obviously, the job starts with me, bringing in the quality of players that can compete. We think we've got a fertile recruiting ground with North Florida and all of Georgia, lower part of South Carolina. So as you say, the parts are there. It's my responsibility to go out and do the job of getting those people to want to come and be a part of what we've got. But I agree with you. The opportunity is an outstanding one for me.
POUGH. And you guys know what he brings to the table as far as in this conference. Our motto for this year is we are one. You know, when I came back to the campus, I realized there was no unity. There was no family atmosphere. So I had to create those things. So right now, we are one. You know, we're going to win together. You know, we're going to fight through some tough times together. But that's what we do on and off the field. You know, we are one. Our thing, road to redemption. And when I say that, it's not as far as redemption against these guys up here as far as in the conference. It's within ourselves. So we want to get back to what we used to be at Howard University, when we was great. You know, the Willie Jeffries days, the Steve Wilson days. Now, we want to go ahead and get on that redemption, and so we can redeem ourselves, and then we'll focus on the rest of the conference when we get there. We're going to throw the football, we're going to run the football. We're going to be very competitive this year. We're not waiting for year 2, year 3 to win football games. We're not using any excuse as it's a rebuilding year. We're going to come out the gates, and we're going to be very competitive. We're going to play with a lot of passion, a lot of energy.
The problems that we have is a little bit bigger than just getting a good coach in place. You know, we need to get our administration, our faculty, our staff, alums. This thing's going to take the work of a lot of people to really fix it the way it needs to be fixed. But I agree with the resources. To me, it's one of the prettiest black campuses in the country. You have one of the best academic institution in black college football. So there's a lot of things in place that gives us an opportunity to work with. And it's a heck of a challenge because of the APR problems that we have now and because of loss of practice time that we're facing. So, but it's a challenge that we're looking forward to. I'm excited about this, you know, and I look around, we're at the bottom of the league in every category. And, you know, and I've said this to a number of people, there's really only one way for us to go. You know, it can't get any worse. So I think the timing was right. You know, I think we're in the right place at the right time and the right place.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. But I think when you got as much talent as I think is in Dover right now, the key to it is keeping that talent disciplined, because undisciplined talent is like having no talent. And untalented disciplined players are much better than a bunch of talented, undisciplined players. So we wanted to make sure that we got back to instilling the discipline in, accountability. You do this, we do that. We want to make sure that we corral our players. So when we do get in dog fights and we're in the fourth quarter of a ball game, we're not making simple mistakes to lose a ball game.
You know, right now we're looking forward to a season. Everyone is kind of saying the same things, full of optimism and everything. But I'm excited. I'm excited for North Carolina Central. You know, and I'm excited for our whole entire community, because this is, like I said, you know, I guess a time everyone's been working towards and been waiting for, and being official members and able to compete for championships and all conference honors and different things like that. Now, you know, it's time to really roll them sleeves up and get after it. And, you know, I commend, you know, Dr. Wicker McCree and the entire transition team for getting the university to this point. Like I've often said, I kind of came in on the back end, and now, you know, hopefully be able to bring a championship, you know, to North Carolina Central in football. Yeah, you know, that's something that we constantly going to talk about, and but we got to put it on the field. We got to put the work in on the field, and that's one of the major things, you know, that we'll push. But the way we practice, the way our approach to the game, you know, they'll see it. You know, they'll start seeing dividends early, and just about, you know, building up their self-esteem and getting them to that level. So it's not my first rodeo, you know, so we kind of got an idea of what we need to do. And if the summer and the spring is any evidence, you know, the kids, we have a captive audience. and they're listening to what we're talking about. And it's our turn as coaches to start to lead this ball club.
Well, I mean, it's, you know, very exciting, you know, getting ready to go back and just, I mean, coach some football. You know, whenever you get to seeing the food on the grills and the sun getting hot, you know, it's almost time for football. Last year we were extremely young. And mainly we're going back with a very experienced team, and we're actually just really looking forward to getting back out there and coaching them up.
Well, we have an experienced team, particularly on the defensive side of the football. We have a lot of players coming back on that side, and I think that'll have to carry us earlier in the year. Offensively, we're going to be okay. And obviously, you know, we have a good quarterback. We have a couple of them really. Like I said before, a couple of good offensive linemen. We've got to rebuild the offensive line early. And special teams, I think, will be in pretty good shape. So it's tough every week, but, you know, competition's competition. Yeah, we've been fortunate. I think 3 of the last 4 years we've been in the top 3 or 4. And, you know, right where we're at's a good rate. It makes us very dangerous.
My first year was totally getting my feelers wet, but the second year I felt we had enough to get it. You know, we fell short of little things. But I think by going into the third, I was able to adapt and adjust and what we need to work on. And so right now, that's what we keyed on, you know, our special teams and offensively, you know, getting a new offensive coordinator. So I feel right now we're going to be right in the thick of things. So, you know, we'll just wait and see what happens. Yeah, I think David right now, you know, unfortunately, when he came here, it was always a quarterback controversy, you know. You didn't know who was going to play, and it wasn't good chemistry, and, you know, we had different coordinators and what have you. But, you know, that's kind of settled down. He knows he's the guy. Chisholm came on board as a freshman last year, and, you know, we've got at least 3 or 4 guys that compete. And so I'm excited about that. David's not going to have to do it all himself. It's just a matter now of just, you know, just following the process and just let the game come to you. So I think he's more, you know, heady now and as far as understanding what's asked of him. And so I'm looking for a great year for him.
The real key is always starts with defense. And we're excited that we do have 9 guys returning from last year's team that went down the stretch, you know, won 6 straight ball games and forced a 3-way tie for the championship. So 17 of those guys are back. And I've been really encouraged by what I've seen in terms of the all-season workouts. And, you know, a lot of leadership by, you know, they're empowering each other. And that to me is always an indicator that their hearts and minds and work ethic is in the right place. Well, I really look around the league with the advent of, you know, the leadership of Dr. Thomas. And, you know, now you look at Henry Frazier, who's a known winner, Coach BROADWAY, a known winner. This conference has become so much more competitive. And because of that, you're going to see a lot more success outside of the conference. And that's our charge from Dr. Thomas. And we really feel like we could be a 3-team participant in postseason. And really because, again, some young, very outstanding coaches that's going to make this conference a lot more competitive.
Well, I think what we got to do is continue to be work to be successful, and we got to get better. You know, that's just bottom line. You know, I don't buy into we're the number 1, you know, top team and all that other stuff. Because on any given Saturday, you know, you can line up and get your butts beat. You know, because I think this conference is that competitive. So the main thing we got to do is continue to get better as a football team as a whole, and get ready to line up and play some tough football. Well, I mean, you know, we just did what we thought was best for us, you know, what fit our athletes. You know, my belief is you run what your athletes can do best, and that's what we did, you know. And a lot of people say we caught some teams by surprise and different stuff like that. I don't believe in that because they were able to watch the film and see what we do. So we lined up just like everybody else, but, you know, fortunately we came out on the good side 10 times, you know, and I thank God for that.
Well, I think we just try to do things right. We work at it hard. Our kids work at it hard. We got a sense of urgency in that. We know that we don't have the ability or the right to think that you can just sit around and just wait for something to happen. We have to go out and make things happen, and that's just how we go up. That's how we approach things in our organization. Well, you know, the key is continuing to improve. You know, everybody's gaining on us, and you know, one of the neat things about our league is that guys like yourselves are coming along and showing some real sense of urgency about how you know, go about doing things. And, you know, anytime you've got everybody else trying to catch you, then that makes you work just that much harder to improve. So, you know, that's what we're all about. You know, we're always trying to find whatever can make us a little bit better the next year or the next day even. And, you know, if we can continue to be that way, have that kind of style about ourselves, then hopefully we can stay ahead. But it looks like they're gaining on us.
First of all, they are Central is an outstanding academic institution under the dynamic and visionary leadership of Dr. Nams and Dr. McCree running the athletic program. And they have a huge and loyal following, have an outstanding legacy and history. And so they bring a lot to the table. Excellent facilities, great alumni support. So there are a lot of positive about North Carolina Central University.
Well, there you go, Eagle fans. Football season is just around the corner, and I know that you've been waiting for this for quite a long time, that we actually get the dream of a championship here this year. Hopefully with head coach Emory Frazier III, we take those steps in the right direction here in 2011. It'll be here before you know it, folks. Stay tuned throughout the preseason. Check out our YouTube page and check out NCCUEaglePride.com for more updates as we get ready for the 2011 football season. So long, everybody.